This is a seminal moment for me because last night I was watching CONCACAF Nations League, Pochettino era. We're playing Jamaica. This was the tournament that last year that I was watching, and I really loved what I saw from the team when they beat Mexico.
Made you find God.
It made
famously.
me find God famously. But today I've decided
You're an atheist.
I am out on my USMNT fandom, and I'm converting to become a Canadian. Now, I know this is going to be controversial. People aren't going to like the fact that they're going to call me a traitor, turncoat. I'm abandoning my country.
Yeah.
That's fine. Do you want me to explain my rationale for why I'm defecting to Canada?
I mean, other than rancid vibes, which I've been on, let's hear it, Ari.
It's true. I will give you credit. You've been on this train for longer than I have. I've been an outspoken U.S. men's national team fan throughout my soccer fandom. You've been saying that the vibes were bad around this team for a while. I was in denial about that, but
it's okay.
I think that brings me to my first point, which is that I just don't like the vibes of the players in our player pool. I think there's way too much acting like they've arrived when they have not won anything. And I think just first and foremost, I would like to reiterate that this stuff about the golden generation, until they prove it otherwise by winning something like they act like they have.
I'm sorry, the Gold Cup,
Ari? The golden generation.
The Gold Cup.
Okay, they go.
Therefore, they can be...
Until they win something of significance and do anything at a higher level than previous iterations of this team, that's propaganda. I don't want to hear the term golden generation ever again until they actually win something of substance. And that's coming from someone who bought into that propaganda. So like just their general vibe with that, and then also what rubs me the wrong way watching that Jamaica game last night. Christian Pulisic, Captain Pulisic, he does the Trump dance celebration. Weston McKennie does it with him, and I really don't care, Noah, about them like doing the dance themselves. But we've seen this across other sports too, where they do the little dance. They get asked about it afterwards, and then they got nothing to say. And I can't respect that. Like if you do something like that, you're doing it with the intent of being seen about it. You have a point that you want to make, and then people ask you about it. Nick Bosa did it. Brock Bowers did it in the NFL. They asked Nick Bosa after the game. He said, I don't want to talk about it, but it's an important moment.
Yeah.
What is that? That's cowardly. Brock Bowers, the Raiders PR staff, ended the interview when the reporters asked him about that, that pisses me off, because that's the implication, like, oh, the media is like asking something that's out of line. But it's like, no, you brought that on yourself. Whatever happened to standing on business? Whatever happened to that? And after the game last night, they asked Pulisic about it, and he said, I just thought it was funny. So that, to me, it just shows that he's not really about it. He's got nothing to say. He's got nothing of substance that he actually wants to put forth about anything that he's talking about. And I just don't like that. I think that's whack. I think that's cowardly. I think it's whack that Weston McKennie also like joined in on this, and just the whole culture and vibe of the team. I don't like it. I'm a Canadian fan now. So that's the last thing I wanted to say.
Jesse Marsh up the Leafs.
Yes. And Jesse Marsh, have you seen his press conferences?
Yeah, he's the best.
They're
ever,
hilarious.
Dude. I love him.
They're like, are you offended by not getting the consideration for the U.S. job? He's like, no.
He's like, no, fuck
I don't
that
want
place.
to. And that's, I could go into like my other takes on just the general incompetence and shit showness of the Federation itself, which also plays into it. But anyway, I'm off to Canada. That's how I feel about that.
Man, it feels like a sad day, because I don't have anyone to banter around with, to be on the side of our lovely stuck up sweethearts, the U.S. men's national team.
Canada's team is like Alphonso Davies, way better than any player that we have.
True.
I guess Canada is we now.
Yeah.
Kyle Larin and Jonathan David, way better than any striker we have. So it's just better vibes, and I feel good about my decision.
As long, here's what I'll say. Pochettino, I was promised a complete switch up, and it doesn't feel like it. It feels like there is better tactical play for sure, but that's about it. And my issues were never with, I don't give a shit if we lose. Every single person on that team is just fucking annoying. And I just hate that. And everyone around the team is annoying. And every fan online is fucking annoying. Remember the Tyler
Adams quote of "I'm the best in the world"? Yeah, like I'm done with that. Like,
yeah.
You guys think way too highly of yourselves for having not done anything of significance more than you know what the real golden generation was. This is such a tangent, but you know what the real golden generation was? Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey and a bunch of MLS lifers. That was the golden generation.
Michael Bradley.